All right, for segment 2 today, we are going to continue our dive through the galaxy. But this time we're actually going to learn about the galaxy. But we're going to talk about Aliens Unlimited. If you remember, last week we talked about it, and pretty much like 2/3 of the book was just alien races. But it really had a good section on there on how to create alien races. And we talked a little bit about the empires and so forth. Well, today we're going to fly through the galaxy, and we're actually going to explore, find out how to explore the galaxy, find out what you'll discover out there, and ultimately we are going to look at a horrible big bad guy over the course of the next 3 videos. But until then, we are going to start with exploring the galaxy. How do you fly faster than the speed of light? It is impossible. It's a game, sir. It's a game. Role-playing games thrive in fantastic worlds and at inclusive tables that embrace these core values for the most positive gaming experience. Donate to the Wounded Warrior Project via the link in the description below to help, honor, and empower our wounded heroes. On Thursdays and Saturdays, watch Heathen Dog's Dirty Casuals play multiplayer video games over on Twitch. On Sundays and Fridays, join us for tabletop role-playing game content on both YouTube and Rumble. Finally, please take a quick moment to like this video and share it with both your friends and on social media. If you have not done so, please subscribe to Legion of Myth and activate that bell icon to receive notifications of new content. All right, I hope everything's off the screen. I can't see Discord, so hopefully you're seeing the Aliens Unlimited book right now.
We got
Okay,
Galaxy Guide.
Or Galaxy Guide, right? Aliens Unlimited Galaxy Guide.
All right.
Should have all been one book. I guess that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Let's go to page 13. Oh, there you go. Travel in the Milky Way Galaxy. Is that page 13? That is page 13. So you don't have to read all this, of course, because this is not a deep dive, but the distances in space are mind-boggling by terrestrial Earth standards. But other races are far more advanced in their technologies and able to cross those distances as easily as we cross the oceans of Earth. Now, what's important about this sentence, what I want to say is, remember, this is still in the Heroes Unlimited universe.
Sure.
Now, you can use it for whatever you want. Actually, according to a lot of the commentary in here, this game mixes in with Phase World really well. In fact, you're going to see a lot of Rift references when we look at certain aspects of the game. But
I get it.
We're learning this stuff from aliens. The point of this is to either be an alien or to join the aliens.
Sure.
So,
Star-Lord yourself. Boom.
Star-Lord, there you go.
Star-Lorded. There you go.
Exactly. So what do you get from this? Well, you get what you pay for. For example, and I think it's on this page here. Yeah, it's on here. I'm not going to zoom in on it because it doesn't matter that much. But you could pay a mere 5,000 credits, and you too can travel faster than the speed of light, and it will only take you 125 years to get to where you're going.
Awesome.
Or maybe spend a little bit more, like 10 times more, and pay $50,000 for the credit luxury liner that takes 2 weeks.
That's significantly better.
Yeah, that might be money well spent.
Yeah. Save up. Save your ducats. Get the better engine.
Well, that is a common way of travel. There are space lanes. Think of it as like highways. They're protected by police, so to speak. There are known trajectories that you can fly on. Whereas if you do have your own spaceship, you can just kind of hop out there and fly around. Leaving those, call them more protected areas, those roads, those space roads, that's like driving into a cornfield or the backwoods. You're left to your own devices at that point, and I hope you don't break down.
Because you got a pretty mouth.
Or you're going to run out of oxygen. Both are bad. You pick the nightmare that you prefer.
Okay.
Let's go to page travel. We'll get to travel beyond the Milky Way in a little bit. So, 16. Here we go. Rules for planetfall. Now, when you get to a location, you're going to want to land on a planet, probably. And the book gives you rules for that. We are not going to dive into them, except we're going to take a look at this little section right here. Can I slide over? Apparently not. Here we go. Landing on a planet directly has some advantages and disadvantages. Planetfall is much more tricky than orbiting or docking with a space station, and almost always requires a piloting skill roll.
Fair.
Fail the roll, and a crash will. That's a very absolute word right there.
Crash will result. Yeah.
So,
I mean, you could church it up and say it was an uncontrolled landing, but everyone knows you mean crash.
Right. But hey, if you walk away from it, what's the adage? Any landing you walk away
Walk
from is a
away
good
from
landing.
Yeah, except now you're out like that ship. But other than that, yeah, you better like where you are.
And as you can see here, there are a bunch of rules, modifiers, minus 15% for difficult landings on worlds with dense vegetation and so forth. But it's got some modifiers here. So obviously, it's not too crunchy, but it's enough to say, hey, is this where you really want to land? Then you got stealth landings. Hey, I want to land here. We're going to do first contact. So can you land here and hide the ship? Or you're the predator. That's always a good thing, right? Land and
You don't want to know you're coming. I get it.
make Cambodia look like Kansas, right? If you land in a remote wilderness area, it's plus 20%. If you land in a heavily settled area, you're not trying to hide. Okay? That's not stealthy. Why are you landing there? But it's minus 30%. Or, hey, I want to stealthily land at a spaceport.
Okay, you know what? That is entirely possible if you
hide
want
in plain sight.
You're hiding in plain sight and you're saving on docking fees. That's important.
There. Anyway. Then it moves on to talk about adventuring in unearthly environments. And I, at this point, will we'll save that for later. Basically, it talks about high radiation, frozen worlds. You can see a lot of different ones here. Thermal worlds.
Every world has its own trial and tribulation.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly. And again, this is just going to add to your spacefaring. What I like about this is good for an exploratory type game. Well, what's on this planet? I don't know. Well, guess what? It's a vegetation planet. Now you have all the stuff that you want right there. All right. Last paragraph on page 20. Oh, yes. This one's going to be a little long one. So this is about magic and environments. All right.
Oh, this is if you want to land on Rift's Earth. Buckle up, buddy.
Rift's Earth is a different. No, not Rift's Earth. Sorry, Rift's characters have a little bit different deal, and I think we're going to talk about that in the next video, if I remember correctly.
Oh, okay.
But might be this one. Mystical characters that travel the galaxy should do their best to know about the planets they'll be visiting beforehand. A mage visiting a world very low in magical energies should be prepared for his spells to do half of their normal damage or cost twice as much the normal PPE. In such cases, being prepared can often mean the difference between life and death. Likewise, planets with high levels of magic have their benefits and drawbacks. It includes higher than usual presence of supernatural beings, demons, spellcasting beings. Think about it. If you're going to a world with a lot of magic, the things that associate with magic are probably going to be there.
Yeah. And there's going to be more of them because they will gather to a spot that makes them feel cool.
Right. Humans like oxygen. I bet you if there's a planet with oxygen, there's a higher propensity for there to be a human there.
Fair.
Certainly, the practitioner of magic will be more powerful than he normally is, but any such adventure worth the salt will realize that such an environment will spawn native creatures that are also more powerful than the norm. I don't know if it's here, we'll be talking about it later, but there's a section of the book that actually talks about what do you do when you go to a low technological world. Well, there are still dangers there, and I think we'll cover that. Find out. So what I would like Heathen Dog to do is I'd like him to roll percentile dice for me if he's got them available.
Sure. 26.
All right. You went to a world, randomly found world. You did a little, exploration thing, and you got 26. It's a low magic level. Reduce all aspects of magic by 25%. That's not too horrible, but still, all aspects. That means range, time, duration.
Yeah, range, duration, damage, whatever.
Yep. Anything that you can associate a number with other than the PPE cost is 25%.
Copy that.
All right. Where are we now? I already did that. Oh, show table did that. Oh, read about black holes because there are different things that can affect magic as well. Okay, sorry for scrolling through here. I'm trying to find that. So you have voids, a section of space so low in magical energies are literally non-existent. But we always want to know what goes on with black holes, right?
Sure.
Because you're in space and black holes are fun. Black holes, which are basically massive rifts in time and space, are the most noteworthy of ley line nexuses in the galaxy. What? Lone ley lines crisscross the void, but despite the faint glow they give off, are easily overlooked or missed by scanners. Even ley line nexuses can go unseen if the spacecraft is not within passive sensor range, which we'll talk about in the third video. There supposedly exists worlds that have perfected forms of magical technology capable of pinpointing ley line activity virtually anywhere in the galaxy, but such efforts remain in the province of myth and theoretical speculation. Still, such technology does exist. The Atorians and Far would be most eager to acquire it, if for no other reason than to deny these things from their enemies. So just know, I guess the important part of that is that black holes are ley line nexuses. If you're, I don't know, flying in from rifts, which can happen.
You came out of a black hole into this universe. That's entirely possible.
Oh, and it's funny. He is foreshadowing something. One of the ways of faster than light travel is to drive through a black hole, and we'll talk about that in either the end of this video or next video. I forget which one's in which video. So, and we got different planetary settings. We're not going to roll on this, but
no, I see it. Earth-like environment, high gravity, low gravity, high radiation, frozen.
Go ahead and roll one. We'll actually just look at what it talks about.
All right. 41.
41. You got a toxic atmosphere. Good job.
Awesome. It's China.
Oh, hey, let's roll again. What's the ground cover table? I actually do have to go through this chart. So
32.
32. The ground covers thick vegetation. So toxic, thick vegetation. Okay. Do we have another one? Oh, atmospheric. Let's do it.
26.
26. Constant Mr. Fog. What are you in Venus?
I guess so, man. This is rough.
Okay, and the technological table.
86.
Ooh, got some technology over here. Star Age, interstellar travel. So you high probability you've just come across some weirdos on here that might be like, hey, that ship looks nice. Thanks for landing at our spaceport. Looks like a copse of trees. Yes, that's our spaceport. Good job. Anyway. And what else? Oh, architecture appearance. Why not? Because let's have this. Go ahead and roll
98.
Again. 98. A mixture of two. Roll twice.
45 and 91.
So 91 is megalithic retro techno, an interesting but often ugly and dismal architectural style that blends big, blocky medieval style. So you got Gothic. Okay, basically Gothic there, even though it says Gothic right here. Yeah, and what was the 40 something?
It's 41, I think.
High tech, human, or alien. Okay, so you got a mix of like cyberpunky Gothic.
Okay. Hey, you know what? It's dirty because there's always a fog. The atmosphere is toxic, so it makes perfect sense. I happen to roll on something that makes sense.
Yeah, have you ever lived? So I lived in Okinawa, and no matter how well the Japanese clean things and keep things pristine, the outside of those buildings always kind of look a little grayish and run down. That's because of all the sea salt that hits it.
Sure.
So yeah, absolutely, that could make sense. And remember, we're doing this this random thing here just to show you what you could come up with. You can obviously design your own as well. And one last roll here. What are the aliens that are there?
Oh, they better be nice. 49.
49. You got feline races. So, and examples are from the Aliens Unlimited book. So we came across a anthropomorphic cat species.
Inherently evil and distrustful. That's cat species.
All right. Yeah, here we go. Primitive Worlds and Culture Shock. By the way, this is a really good chapter. Read it. Okay. It talks a lot about the dangers, the pitfalls, and also of not only the game master allowing players to do this, but also the dangers that could befall the player characters themselves. So let's off miss dangers. Where is it? Page 28. Oh, that's up here. Okay, I don't see the paragraph that starts with that. So that was dumb. All right, well, it talks about, they've got superstitions. This is a paragraph that really stuck with me. So let's look at this. Talking about felines, let's talk about Curiosity Killed the Cat. What happens when that primitive or even industrial age scientist sneaks into the character's spaceship and presses the wrong button? Does it go boom? Is there some other damage? How about this? The weirdo goes in there, pushes the wrong button, it takes off, and you're stranded on this planet.
Autopilot. Whee!
Now, should that be easily done? No, but I'm just saying that there are consequences that can happen. You know, humans themselves are known for inquisitiveness, and somebody always has to push the red button. Is there some is valuable research wiped from a computer or an automated defense system turned on that kills curious individual or you? So anyway, and yes, a weapon is a weapon, dead is dead. You can still be speared. Spears will kill you. Just saying. All right, great advice for high-tech PC. Did read the bold text on page 29. Why do I want to do that? Oh, okay. It was just these titles. We don't have to do that. Now, I don't care about the timeline. I really don't. I'm not. One of the things I'm not doing is diving into the lore of the Heroes Unlimited, Aliens Unlimited universe, because to be fair, I think this book actually excels at you creating your own stuff, and I want to promote that. So we're going to switch over to 153. Advanced space travel. It says it's here. Oh, there it is, right there. Now we're going to talk about a little bit more. Get into the actual methods of moving. Advanced space travel methods includes processes that allow a civilization to truly branch out from its terrestrial roots and reach the stars quickly and efficiently, bringing it into the galactic community. Faster than light drives are common in the galactic community and can span interstellar distances as short as a few hours, days, or weeks. Meanwhile, gravity well manipulators and other point-to-point gateways. Now, so this is what I was kind of joking about transwarp drives before.
Mm-hmm.
These are the super fast ones, right?
Sure.
Provide instantaneous transportation anywhere in the galaxy. And yes, you will find the Ori gates in this game. These methods of space travel are usually available to all spacefaring civilizations, like cars and telephones on Earth, or now cell phones. Mm-hmm. They are necessary to keep the galactic community in touch with one another and exchange trade technology. You get the idea.
Yeah.
So that's what I was kind of talking about before with the space lanes. So 154 here is slower than light, and then it dives into, because there is still slower than light travel, that you can do.
Sure,
that's
for atmospheric travel, inside systems, like between planets and moons and whatnot, stations. Yeah, I get it.
Even then, for a lot of in-system stuff, you're going to want to be close to the speed of light. Otherwise, you're still going to be traveling for quite a while. But yeah. Then it talks about stasis and sleep systems, and we're not going to dive into this, but there is one part here. Let me see if I can find where it is. 154. Cryostasis revival. Where's that? There it is. Cryostasis revival process. Right there. Just to give an idea, you're in cryostasis, and again, there's a difference between sleep and stasis. I'm not going to define that here, but cryostasis revival process normally takes 2 or 3 hours.
Mm-hmm.
So when you wake up, I hope you're not under pirate attack.
Well, hang on. Just so everyone can picture this, what I'm picturing is an Alien and Aliens level cryo sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Where they go into the pod and then they sleep. I mean, between Alien and Aliens, Ripley was in that thing for 70 years and she didn't age appreciably.
Well, that is the difference between sleep and stasis.
Sleep is you're still aging at a normal rate. Yep. Stasis means your biology's locked at that. Yeah. Okay, got it.
And I think it's 100 years or something is the max or whatever. But so cryostasis revival process normally takes 2 to 3 hours, but a rush job can be done in 2d6 plus 10 minutes. That's still, again, if you're under attack, so stop at a safe spot. However, a rush job has a 50-50 chance of causing the frozen individual to lapse into a comatose state rather than awaken.
Oops.
Now, I'm not going to read all of this here, but you have to save versus coma death. You need to have some medical first aid done to you. It's not a fun thing. You do not want to do the rush job unless you have to. And even then, you could still get 120, so 2 hours. Wow, you saved a whole hour and went through all that risk. And you could also you could also say, well, it could also be 20 minutes. Yeah, you're right. Good luck. So, okay, and then now we are going to talk about the different types of faster than light. And I'm going to zoom through them. Again, we're not going to look at, I'm going to mention them. So, start off with antimatter fusion drives. These repulse gravity. They require a source of gravity for continued acceleration and deceleration, so they work best closest to... I just read the wrong one. I just read anti-grav drive, sorry. Because it started over here. Anti-grav drives, repulse gravity, require source of gravity for continued acceleration, deceleration, and work best within systems. They slow down outside systems. Now, none of these will strand you. You're just going to move slower.
Sure.
And for example, maximum speed of the AG drives is 20. What does that mean? Factor 20. There we go. What does that mean? That means it goes 20 times the speed of light.
It's not bad.
Well, wait till you see some of the other ones. Yeah, you're right. It's not bad. Bonuses in atmosphere +2 to dodge and +5 on stunt maneuver. So it's a pretty decent.
The closer you are to a gravity well, the more energy you have to manipulate your ship. So that makes perfect sense. Yeah.
And in space, they're +3 to dodge. Now, Antimatter fusion drives. These are experimental and only exist in the Atorian Empire. In fact, they don't technically exist yet. But if they
This is Star
do,
Trek stuff right here.
yes.
Yeah.
It talks about, depending on what year you decide to implement it, it starts off at a craft of 750 tons or larger. Then over the course of decades, it goes down. But if it ever sees production, it's +3 to dodge, factor 300.
300 times the speed of light.
Yep.
That's pretty good.
Yep. Interstellar ramjets. These things use an EM cone to pull in some atoms into intakes. I don't know what science it's based on, because most of these seem like they're based on some sort of either sci-fi or real world theoretical science. This one I hadn't heard of before, so I'm not sure.
Oh, yeah, no, I get it. I get it. What it is space is never completely empty.
Right.
There's always particles. As long as you're moving, you can suck particles in, and once you get enough, you can eject them out the back as fuel going, make these things go faster in light. It'll push you forward.
Now, it does have a couple limitations. Bonus +1 to dodge within a solar system, but -1 to dodge for every 5 light years away from the star, because space
less
has less.
matter. Yeah.
Yep. Maximum speed, factor 120, pretty darn good, but only within 10 light years of a star or a nebula. I mean, that's still pretty far away,
Still pretty
but
good.
yeah, farther than that, light speed drops to a factor of 75.
Still better than that AG crap.
Right? Laser sails. Now, a lot of people understand what these are.
Count Dooku, suck a ball. Get out of here.
Well, it's scientific. I mean, this is actually scientifically motivated.
I know. This is actually feasible with current technology, but still, I don't like it.
So you have a laser. It hits the sail, and that causes propulsion, because every action has an equal and opposite reaction. Yada yada. Maximum speed is factor 40 within 1 light year from a star, and half of that when further away. Because
so I would much rather have the AG deal at that point, because number one, my ship wouldn't look stupid.
Okay.
So I'm fine with that, and anything outside of like the backyard of a solar system is the same speed. So whatever.
Yeah, it also has to. You either need one in the back to decelerate you, or you need a method of deceleration also. Where are we now? We are on the antimatter drive. This is the fastest but most expensive version. Now you're like,
it's not the fastest that exists. Okay.
Thank you. Exactly. It's the fastest that currently exists. It's also the most expensive one. Bonus of +2 to dodge. Speed factor 200. So until the Atorians come up with their own, and they're not going to give it to you, because they're women. So you're gonna have to earn that bad boy. This is the best you can get. Metallic hydrogen drives. This is the only chemically. It's like current. Chemical combustion. There we go. Chemical combustion. It's the only chemical combustion engine that can go faster than the speed of light. Basically, it squishes hydrogen down, compresses it so much that it turns into a metal, and you use the fuel that way. It's a speed factor of 50. Not bad for a rocket ship, right?
Mm-hmm. It's very similar to non-FTL in The Expanse. They have these little pellets. Condensed matter, and then they chemically combust them, and you get almost limitless thrust in one direction.
Yeah, Futurama dark matter.
Yeah, same thing there. Futurama, the little dark matter pellets, Nibbler's poop.
Yep.
Yeah.
Microwave sails are very similar to the laser, except for they actually have stealth capabilities. The lasers are no. When you come into a system with Dooku's ship,
people are going to know.
See
You're
it
firing off a laser. Yeah, people are going to know it.
This one, they don't necessarily see, but it also is a little bit slower. So, gotta move on here. Negative matter drives. Okay, we're just making up stuff now.
Yeah, now we're getting into some super science fiction stuff.
It literally says theoretical only. So,
sure.
Maximum speed, unknown, because it doesn't exist. I think it's in the book because it wants you to use your imagination. Maybe you can decide what it does. It's actually got a bunch of paragraphs here for what you can do in your game. Let's get back to things you can actually use in the game. Nuclear fusion drives. I think we know what fusion engines are. If you don't, go look at the science, but they're things we talk about now. +1 to dodge, maximum speed factor 50, and it's 60. Sorry, and it's consistent. Photon ion fission drives. These are the opposite of fusion. See, these mash things together, these blow things apart, and this one only goes a factor of 30 because, blowing things apart is less energy than mashing them together, but it's also easier to do.
Sure.
We're almost done here. Tachyon drives. So, what's that?
Are there any magic drives around here? Based on magic?
No.
Oh.
Tachyon drive. Okay, apparently this. Well, there is. Yes, there is, but it's in the instantaneous one. There's actually a rift drive.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So tachyon drives. Somebody watched too much Star Trek, and it's theory only. Again, but if you can figure it out, well, I don't know. Maximum speed is unknown, but theorized to range from 350 to 1,000 times the speed of light.
Sure.
Now let's move on. Those are drives. That's driving on the highway. You need something a little better. I'm trying to go from the Milky Way to Andromeda. None of these drives are going to get you there in your lifetime.
No.
It is now time to say, how do we use the Aura gates from Stargate? Well, the first one is the it actually says I'm supposed to read here. All right. The hypergravitics, gravity wells.
Hypergravitics.
Yeah, thank you. These pockets are similar to the gravity well surrounding a planet or a star, only they are much smaller. Many decades of subsequent research and experimentation with gravity field generating devices eventually produced a system that could link two of these gravity wells by stimulating the field of one gravity well and extending it toward another known gravity well. Why am I reading all this? Because I want you to understand that the technology of this isn't driving down the road. This is like quantum entanglement, for lack of a better field. So the two fields attract each other and connect, creating a bridge. Actually, a tunnel might be more appropriate description, or an artificial wormhole. Hello, Deep Space Nine, from one part of the galaxy to the other. Although it's easy to think of the bridge as a tunnel of sort, it actually does not take up any space at all. Instead, the spacecraft using hypergravitics simply enters one gravity well and seems to pop out of the other end. Okay, so
sure.
That's how this works. Now, to use these things, the ship has to have both an FTL drive and the what's it called here? And the hypergravity generator. They tie into each other. So the FTL drive works with the generator. Now, I'm not going to read them, but there are a bunch of rules that come with this to see, if you fail your roll. We'll get to some failed rolls and some more interesting ones. Going
Stargate.
back. Well, before we do the Stargates, if you enter the gravitic well at less than light speed, you have problems. Entering below, you destroy the ship. Entering below FTL speeds destroys the ship. Only works within the galaxy. Sorry, Andromeda. Requires navigation space roll. Don't fail, and can take 20 minutes to plot a course from scratch, or 3 actions plus 1 round to get the engine spun up if you already have it in your computer system.
Or you just say, screw it, YOLO, and just pick a direction and go.
Yeah, remember when I said don't fail?
Yeah.
You don't want to fail. All right.
Okay.
There are 5 drawbacks to this one, but we're going to start off by reading paragraph 1. Yes, these are the gateway structures. So gateway structures are huge circular or multi-sided rings floating in space, Aura gates, right?
Sure.
When these structures receive a broadcast with the proper destination codes, they align themselves with another gateway elsewhere to create a hypergravitic bridge between the two man-made gateways. You can't just fly into this and see where you pop out. Gateways do not open a doorway to other dimensions. No. See rifting for that. See, there's your spoiler.
Got it.
They simply form a closed tunnel through the corner of one, effectively folding space to a fraction of the normal distance between 2 points. Likewise, the craft itself does not enter another direction, but flies through the quote-unquote tunnel through space. It pops in, pops out. It's like a Stargate. There you go.
Sure.
But there are 5 drawbacks. First of all, okay. you need to use a navigation space roll, and if you don't do it, is this where the dimensional?
It'll pop you somewhere else. You connected to the wrong gate, right?
Nope. Dimensional siphons. That's what. When we'll talk about that in a moment. So you have to make a space roll. You have to also make a piloting roll if you decide to approach at light speed and/or from a crazy angle. Like you see somebody going through that big tug's trying to get through, and you're like, "I'm going to do this first." You try to drift your way in. Well, you have to make a piloting roll, and if you fail that piloting roll, you're going to mash into it. And again, dimensional siphons, not a good thing. What's the third problem? The third problem are the dimensional siphons. And it's when the gateway between both gates collapses and sends you hurtling into the Borg Collective or the Delta Quadrant. 75% chance to crash into something. Make a new character.
Well, that is not likely. No, wait. No, if your ejected ship because of the physics of this wormhole thing, that the Stargate thing you're going through is attracted to gravity wells, then that would make sense.
I'm not going to read the whole thing here, but according to this, you are flung way the heck off. Again, that's why I used. Remember when Q sent the Enterprise to the Borg Collective, or when Voyager just went to the wrong side of the galaxy? That's what happens when you misjump on this thing.
Yeah, unless you explain that 75% chance to hit something, that is not the universe I live in. Okay. 99% of it is empty space. So the odds of you hitting something are minusculely small unless there's a factor causing you to be attracted to things that exist.
Okay, so the ship will be shot from the newly formed phenomena at unbelievable speeds. Remember, 8 million times the speed of light figure above. The ship will have an initial with 0 to 75% chance of impacting something, even a floating piece of space junk the size of a grapefruit, and vaporizing.
Yeah, I don't get that.
I mean, something that they worry about right now, even sending ships to Mars or.
Yeah, because the debris around our orbit is so cluttered from 80 years of throwing shit up there, but random space is nowhere near even fractionally that cluttered.
Like Rick said in Rick and Morty, everything's in space. Okay.
Yeah.
Black holes. That's right. Why not?
Sure.
Why not try? You know what? There's a black hole there. What happens if we try to fly through it? Don't. This is a game, people. If you're somewhere in space and you're getting this transmission, don't try to fly through a black hole. But if you're playing the game, what you can do is don't miss a singularity. If you miss a singularity, you bounce off and die. So you might want to make sure you got that piloting skill roll. And guess what? It's a navigation space roll. Negative 25% to that roll, baby.
Of course.
Yeah. And the destination location is we don't know.
It's a random. You go in, you come out wherever.
Yep. It's because they haven't been thoroughly researched.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm gonna pass on that one.
Yeah. See, although the destinations of most black holes, where one will end up if he flies through, are unknown, the location of many black holes are known. So you can find a black hole to zip into. You just don't know where you're going to come out. And then, of course, you have rifting, which pretty much you need techno-wizard devices, and it uses PPE. So if you have a big crew and you want to suck a little PPE out of them to go through, you can do that. All right. Let's move on. We're not talking rifts here. We're talking Aliens Unlimited.
Hey, there's magic here.
Oh, we're going to talk more about magic later, yeah. Cruise mode translate travel. This is where things, sorry, I should have actually said this is actually where the transwarp stuff comes in. This other stuff that we were talking about just momentarily, that was Stargate. Mm-hmm. It's a combination of faster than light, hypergravity, and gateway tech. You move about 1 light year an hour. It's easy to get really, really lost. And it takes about 20 minutes for you to decelerate when you're using cruise speed. Oh, and it also requires a 750-ton or bigger ship because it's got a big engine. And finally, there's a okay, where are these? Okay, there are acceleration rules. If you want to start worrying about things like this, which you can, if you want to add a little more realism to the game, you've spacecraft speed and acceleration rules, which tells you how quickly you can slow down, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah. And you know what? Here you go. You want to slow down from light speed? It's not like this was at Star Wars. They go and they're just there. Well, there you go. And notice that now melees, because people get confused on this, are not actions. It's rounds. In Palladium speak, that's rounds. And it even says 15 seconds, and that's 1 round. 30 seconds, that's 2 rounds. And I think that's it for, I mean, you can see the chart here. You can smash into stuff, whatever. Because this will be you after trying to go through a black hole.
Yeah. This is when you failed your roll and you crashed. God damn it. How'd they do this again? I can't connect to YouTube. Damn it. All right, I gotta wing it.
I don't like the eyes in the background. I'm just saying.
No, that's not great. No.
So
and he didn't bring a lighter? What the hell? Okay, never mind. Whatever.
Well, maybe it was on the ship with his cigarettes.
The ship's in the background. It's still there.
Well, yeah. Do you see what condition it's in? I mean,
well, it's still the lighter's probably fine.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah. So anyway, that's it for exploring. It's just a rough overview of the different capabilities and how far you can get. Again, weird technology that you can use theoretical technology you can use to go a lot faster. Pick and choose. You can use all 11. You can choose not to use any of them. Hell, you can use the whole rifting technology. I intentionally didn't talk much about it because it really does get in the rift side of things with PPE and techno wizards. But that's it. That's We've got any comments, questions, concerns from the audience? All right, good.
We have Grizzly Beardo said, I love this book, but my favorite Palladium Galactic setting is TMNT Guide to the Universe, elegant with lots of room to play and insert your own worlds.
That's one of the TMNT books I never got, and I'm kind of looking forward to getting with the new TMNT Redux. I have Transdimensional, which apparently is making people jealous. I didn't know that book was that hard to get, but I never got the TMNT Guide to the Universe. To be fair, the only TMNT book I actually own is TMNT and Other Strangeness. Everything else I own is technically After the Bomb.
Fair. All right, and then we got Michael Mama saying, why does every space planet have exactly one biosphere? Meanwhile, Earth has all of them, sometimes inside the same state. That, I imagine, that's just for ease of use. Mm-hmm. It's a hot world, it's a volcanic world, it's a ice world. It's just easier, man. It's just...
Well, let's flip the script on that for a second. Venus has one biome. Mercury has one biome. Mars has one biome. I mean, you could say there's ice at the top, but it's cold, has very low atmosphere. It's, now with that said, if you're talking about a world, a habitable world, I mean, Hoth has one biome. Endor had one
habitable, but I wouldn't want to live there.
Yeah. Now, with that said, if you get something that's actually Earth-like, and Earth-like is a possible roll.
Yeah, it's the lowest roll when I saw it. Yeah. The 0 to 7 or something like that.
You can add more biomes in at that point. Also, when you start adding in the alien races, definitely you can change that and be like, well, it's a vegetation world, so it's going to be a world that's like Endor, but within that are cities and cities and roadways. They'll probably be flying. And maybe the poles are frozen. I mean, that's up to you to add to the game. But as far as the planet generally goes, Earth, our little blue marble is an anomaly.
And we have L saying he doesn't know how to use the 3 seashells. That was a comment when you were talking about culture shock. And do you know the movie that's from?
Nope.
Demolition Man. Wesley Snipes and
I've seen it, but it was a long time ago.
Yeah. Instead of toilet paper, they use something called the 3 seashells, which they purposefully never explain. So I get it. Then we have Mark Hawkman coming up with, well, it's a non-zero rocks per 1,000 cubic miles, and you're going through a lot of those. With the whole, this is the whole being blasted to random part of the galaxy or whatever, and there's a 75% chance to hit something. The problem with that is it says you're going 8 million light years per hour or whatever. If you're doing that in real space, you're already dead. You don't have to hit something. You're just dead. So you can't be in real space only at the beginning and at the end. And hitting something at the end is so extremely unlikely, I wouldn't even have a roll. That was my idea. That was my reasoning behind it.
If I was doing it for an adventure hook, I wouldn't have a roll.
No.
If I was doing it because you avoided all reason and you still wanted to try to drift your way into that, and as the game master, I may even have done the do you really want to do that? Yeah. Then you're going to get the 75%. Yeah, so it depends. I mean, I get what Heathen Dog's saying. Space is empty, but it also depends on where you come out. If you came out in, and asteroid fields don't work like they do in Empire Strikes Back. Real asteroid fields don't. But if you come out at that location, flying through an asteroid field or near a planet or in a nebula, because there are particles in nebulas, yeah, I could see it happening. So I think there should be more randomness to it. Like, where do you come out and then determine what?
Yeah. Michael here wants to get himself in trouble. Venus has only one biome? That's very humanocentric of you. Someone needs diversity education. Someone may need a timeout. So keep going. Test me and you will fail.
Is that it? Are we good?
Yeah, we're good.
Okay, cool. Well, I hope you like that. Again, quick overview. The whole point of an overview is to get you inspired by what's in the book, make you want to get it and learn more. I really do like this book. I will always say this, that I think that this one and Aliens Unlimited should have been combined into one book and have less aliens in the Aliens Unlimited book, but it is what it is. Really good book. They work well together. And in the next episode, we're actually gonna look at. Okay, we floated around space, but how do we do that now? Well, you do that through the starship. So we will look at either creating or look at the creation process of a starship.
Sure.
Oh, did you?
No, you forgot to put subscribe.
I can't do that because I've got everything way over.
Oh. Well, I can do it then. Ha!
I'll probably cut that part out. Or not.
Damn it!
Hey, see you next time.